Hello, this is Brennan Wilmington of the Left Turn Network, and welcome back to another Lumen Stock Car Invitational race. And this time we're up in the state of Wisconsin on the Milwaukee Mile for race number 17 of season number 3 here in the LSCI. Things are heating up in the points battle. Tim Berry has a 20-point lead over Kevin DuPont. Montana Sherman is currently third in points, 22 points back. Tyler Landry is fourth. Darren Walker is fifth, but they're all separated by 25 points. We will touch on Montana Sherman while we go through the starting grid because there's a bit of an update for him. You guys saw last week he was involved in a pretty big accident, and we'll talk about him when we get to the 3 car. But anyway, I am joined alongside Darian here for, I believe, the fourth time this season. He's been one of our regular commentators. He does an outstanding job. And Darian, I don't know how many races you've seen at this particular version of Milwaukee, but this is a very unique track on the schedule, a 1 mile flat oval. Not usually a kind of track that produces great racing in NR, but this track is definitely an exception. What do you think we're going to see in this race today?
Honestly, it's a race where I honestly kind of expect to see a couple cautions, maybe two or three along that kind of nature. Nothing severe, but I do kind of think we could see like a couple lazy spins here and there, depending on what happens. A bit of three wide gone wrong, you never know. Milwaukee is a very interesting case in this game because you look at tracks like New Hampshire and you don't really get great racing. But then you come to this version of Milwaukee here, and you actually do get some pretty good racing. I've seen good racing here in the past. Um, has it been like the greatest races I've ever seen? No, but it's good enough to where it is genuinely a fun race to watch, I believe.
It's going to be hard to follow up Kentucky, and I don't expect it to. Kentucky last week had a record number of lead changes, 27 lead changes, which is the most in an LSCI race. So obviously, it's not going to try and follow up Milwaukee. It's not going to try and follow up Kentucky, I should say. It's a very different kind of racing, but it's still a fun kind of racing regardless. On the pole today is George Bryan, who is top 10 in points, a single car owner driver from the state of Oklahoma. And he's been outstanding this season. He had a pretty solid season in season 2, including a win. He hasn't won this year, but he's still been impressive with the limited funding that he has. So look for George Bryan to definitely be in the spotlight here today. Alongside him is the 29 car of JB Chanot. It's all Toyotas in the top 3. As we go back to row number 2, it's the 79 of Kobe Hollenbeck and the 65 of Jack Gino. Two drivers that have struggled this season aside from their one win apiece. Row number 3, it's the current Rookie of the Year leader by only 7 points over JT Boyd. It's the 16 of Corbin Taps, alongside the 62 car of Vinny Schulz on the outside. Row number 4 is Joe Smith in the 88, alongside the 57 of Shauna Everett. And then it's the 55 of Michael Harvin, and your points leader, the 11 of Tim Berry, looking to extend that points lead. He has a pretty good starting position, so he's definitely in a good spot to do it. Akiya Tajima, last week's winner at Kentucky in the number 99 car, alongside last week's second place finisher, the 28 of Adrian Wheeler. Now they're starting on the same row. Lori Jackson in the 7 car alongside the 85 of Charlie McCarron. McCarron is 7th in points. She's been on a bit of a slide as of late, looking to rebound. And we have a bunch of Walker Brothers racing cars on the inside lane here. The 52, that's Kaylee Maxwell. We last saw her at Iowa, at least in the Cup Series. Obviously, she's been running amateurs full time, and she's been doing a good job there. So she's back in a seat here at Milwaukee, alongside the 8 car of Darren Walker, who is currently 5th in points. He looked like the early championship favorite, but he, like the 85 of McCarron, has been on a bit of a slide. Kevin DuPont, who has kind of taken the reins of the main driver at Walker Brothers Racing for right now, and also gotten in a couple of incidents ever since his win at Pocono. A lot of drivers are not too happy with him right now. Alongside the 18 of Zach Dearman. And then it's the 25 of Luana Connie, alongside the 2 car. That's Rhea Whitcomb making her not her Cup Series debut. It's her first start of the season. She ran 1 Cup race last year at Talladega and finished 7th. She has been outstanding in the Amateur Series. She won 3 races down there, and 3 of them in the last 5 races that we've run there. including 2 in a row, and she claimed that bounty of $100,000 for the first driver to win 2 races in a row. And now it's the 3 car. This is Billy Smith driving the 3, and he's expected to be driving the 3 for the remainder of the season. Montana Sherman suffered a severe concussion after his big crash at Kentucky. We wish him the best in his recovery efforts, but it will be Billy Smith driving this 3 car for the foreseeable future. And we hope that Sherman will eventually be able to return to the racetrack. Alongside him is the 66 of Tyler Landry. And then it's the 36 of Ashley Blake behind them, alongside the 1 car of Jacob Lopez, the 70 car of Andrew Kreider, alongside the 39 of Laken Herndon. Cooper Spur, last year's winner of this race, back here in the 24, alongside sudden phenomenon Damon Kirby. 2 weeks after his Denver win, this is his first start since then. We'll see what he can do in that 15 car for Checkered Flag Racing. Rebecca Raymond in the 45, alongside Jamison Walker in the 86, who ran on a similar racetrack at North Wilkesboro earlier in the year, and he led a few laps before fuel system failure took him out, hoping to maybe get a bit of, hoping to have a better run this time, and, actually get the finish that he probably should have gotten. Then it's the 32 car of Tamron Bellinger, alongside the 81 of Latanya Gray with a new sponsor on the car. Kate Summers in the 92, alongside the 41 of Karina Willis-Callaway, and rounding out the field is the 77 car of JT Boyd. We're going to have 70 laps here at the Milwaukee Mile, and obviously since this is a 1-mile track, that means it's 70 miles as well. It should be a one-stopper, I would imagine. I think it just depends on when the cautions fall. If we get an early caution, it'll probably turn into a 2-stopper, but yeah, we'll definitely see how the strategy plays out. Tires could definitely be a big factor, especially if we see a split strategy at some point in the race. And it'll all come together in the end with those different tire variations if it plays out like that. And we'll just see what these guys have in store here today at Milwaukee.
Drivers, start your engines!
And the field will roll off here on the back straightaway after getting those engines fired. And make sure there's no mechanical failures off the start, and there aren't any. Darian, who are you going to pick to win today's race here at the Milwaukee Mile?
I'm going to be a bit crazy here today, I think. I'm going to go with the man on pole, the unsponsored 0-1. I'm picking George Bryan to get the win in the race here today.
It's a pretty easy pick to pick the front row sitter, but maybe a bit of doubts with the limited funding, but we've seen that he's very fast this season, and he's been impressive so far. The green flag is in the air, and we are underway here at Milwaukee. Rounding turn number 4, it looks like Brian's going to lead lap number 1, but he's got a couple of Columbia Motorsports cars right behind him. Hollenbeck's going to stick the nose to the inside. He's going to try and get around him here on lap number 2. And the open wheel cars at least used to go here all the time. I'm not sure if they still do, but either way, Hollenbeck has probably raced this track in open wheel before. But here he comes down to the inside of George Bryan, but Bryan's fighting back on that outside lane as we go down the front straightaway to complete lap number 2.
He's going to clear going down into 1, but Hollenbeck again gets the nose stuck inside, but that outside's surprisingly good so far to start off this race, actually. Yeah, Bryan is clear now. Hollenbeck.
Hollenbeck didn't get a good roll off the corner, and now his teammate JB Chanot, she's going to look to the inside of the 79, but she wasn't able to get down there in time. If she gets a good run off the corner, then she could definitely make a move here. Here comes Akira Tajima on the inside. He's made his way up through the field pretty quickly. He's up in the top 5, and Columbia Motorsports is looking pretty fast here to begin with. Once again, it looks like Hollenbeck has a good entry into the corners, but not as good of an exit, and that's why he is not able to pass the 01 so far. I'm just going to quickly check the back of the field because, we get early cautions pretty often on this track, but so far so good here on lap number 4. As it's
Oh, no, man!
oh, there it is. Just as I was talking about it, McCarron is in it. Corbin taps, and several cars are going to pile in at the last second.
Oh, Everett.
It's a log jam on the front straightaway, and the first caution is out. Latanya Gray, front end destroyed on the 81 car. Corbin taps Shauna Everett. And are they racing it back to the caution? No, they're not. So the first caution of the race happening on lap number 5, and that looked like a 4-wide situation there. That was very sketchy, and obviously it didn't end very well for them.
Yeah, like I said at the start of the show, I wasn't expecting anything big like that. I was expecting like a couple single car, 2-car spins, or maybe a bit of 3 wide gone wrong. But that was 4 wide gone wrong, and you just can't go 4 wide at this track.
Yeah, there might be a lot of room, but everybody wants to get down to those main 2 lines on the inside. Looks like Kate Summers has some damage in the 92 car. Yeah, 57. The back end is crunched up. Corbin taps with a lot of damage. He was the one that went around, it was Joe Smith that went around initially. Jamison Walker's having a bit of trouble finding his pit stall, so that's gonna.
What in the world?
That's gonna be. He's having a bit of a moment, but it looks like he's gonna get out. Oh, he's done.
Oh.
So a bit of a pit road chicanery there, and Jamison Walker is gonna retire from the race. That's a shame. Yeah, the pit road's a bit sketch here, but other than that, the track's pretty good otherwise. But ooh, we had some shaking up in the standings. Kobe Hollenbeck got the lead off of it. I wonder, did they take tires or did they take? Yeah, some of them did not take tires. Some of them took fuel only, but the majority of the field did take 4 tires. So some differing strategies here in the first caution of the race.
I don't know how much I like. Honestly, just pitting in general right now. It's only lap 7 we're on right now. I just don't really get it, to be honest with you.
Tires do matter quite a bit at this racetrack, so I'm not surprised to see them pit, but I am surprised to see some cars take fuel only. So we're going to see how that. I'm going to guess the front 5 all did not take any tires, but everyone else took 4. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Well, the first caution of the race here on lap number 5 involved quite a few cars, and we'll get you your replay of that, and then we'll get you back to the restart here at Milwaukee. Well, here's the cause of the first caution of the race. Tim Berry just pushing the issue in turns 3 and 4, just absolutely running Vinny Scholes and Corbin taps up the racetrack. I'm surprised they didn't crash until they came back down the track, and that's when Joe Smith got involved. Charlie McCarron runs into it, nowhere to go. Billy Smith gets sideswiped, and the McCarron spins down to the bottom of the track, and there you see Everett get a piece. Kate Summers and Latanya Gray pile in as well. So a lot of cars got at least minor damage in that, but not too many of them got heavy damage. So we'll probably only see a couple of cars retire from the race due to that. But early crash here at Milwaukee, which is not uncommon for this racetrack, but it was a bit bigger than we were expecting here on lap number 5, and especially don't get too many of them on the front stretch. That definitely kind of contributed to how big it was, because, there's just nowhere for these guys to go when they're trying to avoid it.
Yeah, just going into 3 and 4 here, you can just see 3 wide already. It's very sketchy of this track. As you see in the back, Kaylee Maxwell gets a bit loose, but I think she managed to save it. And then, yeah, Joe Smith. Once you go 4 wide, it's just over from there. I don't know what Joe was thinking in that regard, but, clearly it didn't work. It didn't work for anyone involved. About 10 cars, I believe, involved, but nothing too severe. And I can only hope this is an indication of things to come today.
Welcome back here at Milwaukee. We're on lap number 8, coming to lap number 9 here at Milwaukee. 2 cars are out of the race. Jamison Walker had a pit lane incident that took him out, and then the 81 of Latanya Gray was involved in that first accident. She's out of the race as well. Pace car's going to pull off. The front 5 cars did not take tires on their pit stop, but I believe most of the field behind them did. Green flag's back in the air. We're back underway here at Milwaukee, and what a great jump by the 79 off the restart.
It was either a great jump or the 11 just forgot to go.
Here comes Barry.
Points leader, Tim Barry.
Couple of your championship contenders lined up here, 2nd and 3rd, Barry and Walker. Barry going to try and roll the corner. He wants a lap lead bonus here if he can close in on that 79 of Kobe Hollenbeck. JB Chanot in the 29 and then Damon Kirby in the 15. It's pretty clear that he doesn't quite have the pace that the rest of these guys do, but it's not going to be easy for them to get by off this initial restart. Brian was the leader going into those pit stops, but he fell down to 6th. So he's got a bit of work to do to get back up to the front as the top 3 trying to pull away a little bit. So far, the no tires strategy is working out for them initially, but I think as the run goes on, the about 5 lap fresher tires for those other guys will definitely come into play. Battle
Yeah, it's going to be very
No, you
It'll be very interesting to see how it all plays out.
Here comes the 15 of Kirby, running inside the top 5 once again, looking underneath the 29 of Chanot for 4th, but the gap is not there, and Landry right to the back bumper of the 01 of George Bryan. That's the unique thing about this racetrack. This is one of the few tracks where they can do a legitimate all-out bump and run on each other, making contact in the corners. So that's definitely something to look out for if they get close enough to do it. Because they can really bunch up in the corners, and oh boy, they got squirrely off of turn 4 there. And that might allow Landry to take advantage and peek to the inside, but once again, he's not able to get down there. He just doesn't have the grip as he slips up a bit in the corner. And now the 41 stuck on the outside. Jack Gino's going to try and make headway down there on the bottom.
Landry going to go for 6 on George Bryan. And now Chanot's on the outside. That could allow a 15 to maybe get a run, or Bryan could just use the outside to his advantage.
There's those fresher tires starting to play a factor. The 29. Oh, here we go. A crossover into turn 1. That was risky.
I don't like that.
Kirby's on his bumper.
I don't like this.
He almost turned him. Holy moly. But it looks like Brian's going to get by both of them. What a move going into turn number 1. And
I think everyone on the 01 crew just had a minor heart attack watching that maneuver, though.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the 15 was all up in his business there, but still side by side with the 29, though. Chanot is hanging tough on the outside lane. And this was something that was not... I did a lot of test races with this race expecting a cloudy weather race, and they were not hanging it tough on the outside very much. But now that there's less grip on the inside than there would usually be, it's a bit more of a close battle. And now you can see the 01 starting to fly through the field, up to 4th, already caught up to Darren Walker and the 11 of Tim Berry. But Hollenbeck has about a half a second lead that he has right now, but if the 01 can get by these two pretty fast, I can imagine that lead will disappear pretty fast.
Yeah, it's lap 16 right now, 5 lap pressure tires. I wasn't expecting it to be that much of a difference, but it really has proven to be a huge advantage for the 01. If he can just get on the outside, I think, surprisingly enough. I feel like the outside is actually the better line here today. So if he can just make a move on the outside, I think he'll have a good chance.
I'm not sure if it's the better line, but you can definitely hold serve up there if you've got a good enough race car, and we know that Brian definitely does. Oh, they're 3 wide there. Cooper Spur.
Oh, no.
Getting himself on TV here. He's going to make a move underneath the 66 and the 99, and Landry's been dropping like a rock ever since that restart. And Cooper Spur's going to get both of those positions. Kaylee Maxwell trying to make up some spots down there in the 52 car. Rebecca Raymond, who started out back, is also running pretty good. 13th, not bad, but I think she restarted in the top 10, so she hasn't had that great of a restart. Ooh, dive bomb here by the 65, Jack Gino. Underneath Damon Kirby, that is for the 6th, or no, that's for the 5th position, as both of them got by the 29 of Chanot, and they're going 3 wide again. Oh, Kaylee Maxwell pushing the issue in that 52 car, and she's going to try and send it into turn number 1.
Oh, my goodness.
Is she going to get 3 spots down there on the inside? She is.
What a move. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Raymond almost got turned by the 25. Goodness. Oh, that was close. Look at the 25.
It is all kicking off here.
25.
We're only on lap number 19, and it's all going to hell.
The 25 practically got in the grass down there in turns 3 and 4. You can definitely see him go way low through the corner. But out in front, it's still Kobe Hollenbeck. We've only had one lead change so far, but there's been no shortage of action throughout the field. Is Gino getting ready for another dive bomb here? He wasn't close enough to really...
Yeah, I was going to say.
He wasn't close enough to make a move, but look at him roll through the corner. Oh, here he comes.
He's forcing Brian to the outside. That might help Brian. If he can just get the car to stick, which actually, oh, he really can't get it to stick. Gino, big roll on the inside. He'll get past George Bryan and move into 4th place. And now he's going to look for 3rd on Darren Walker. Down here comes Brian. Oh, my goodness.
What an entry into the corner for George Bryan, but he got held up by the 8. The 8 is doing some great defensive driving on the 01. The 65 was able to slip under him, and if he's able to make it stick through 1 and 2, he should be able to clear him. But he's not. The 8's still hanging tough up there. Good launch by the 65.
This is unbelievable.
And can he get the nose underneath through turns 3 and 4? Oh, the one car, Jacob Lopez.
Lap car.
He is off the pace, but not enough to get... He's only off the pace by half a second.
What if he had an unscheduled stop? Might have had an unscheduled stop or something.
And the one car's 2 laps down. The 92's also a lap down, and she was not a lap down beforehand.
Gino! Oh, Brian!
Brian's all the way down in the grass to get underneath the 65. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
With that lap car there, that's a dangerous situation, but Lopez doesn't get a good drive off. He is about half a second slower than them, but it's not slow enough for him to be like a real issue, so he'll get to stay on the racetrack. But they are really bunching up for the lead here. There's about, 6 cars? Yeah, the top 6 cars are all under a blanket here, and this 52 car has just shown up. She's been making some crazy moves, and she's going to make another crazy move on the inside of Walker for 5th.
That is unbelievable. That 52 just appeared out of nowhere, and she is making her presence felt, going to the inside of Jack Gino for 4th place now.
Oh my goodness. Are we going to see another Ford development driver, another 4x4 racing driver get a win in the Cup Series to kind of even it out, even the score with Checkered Flag Racing? Holy moly, look at
She's going to move the 11!
She just moved the 11 out of the way.
What in the world?
Kobe Hollenbeck sit and watch this like, I like it now, but if the 52 gets cleared, I don't think I'll be liking it for much longer. Side by side for second.
This is unbelievable.
Gino's gonna try and follow her down there.
What in the world? I have never seen anything like this. What amazing driving by the 52 car.
But Barry's holding serve on the outside. He got a great run through the corner. Will he be able to clear going into 1? It looks like he will, unless Maxwell sends
no, he won't.
And she's going to send it again. It's been send central in turn 1 here today.
Maxwell is absolutely driving her heart out right now. Oh, my Lord.
Here she comes.
She might get to go for the lead. 3 wide.
Almost 3 wide headed into turn 3. And Kaylee Maxwell's going to go into the lead. Oh, but
unbelievable.
79's trying to fight back on the outside, but the 52's got the better tires. I don't think Hollenbeck will have that much for her, but I think the 65 might, because he is trying to get by Barry for 3rd. If he can get past Hollenbeck quick enough, then we might have a battle on our hands. But Kaylee Maxwell, lap number 28, she finds herself in the lead, trying to make it another win for an amateur series driver, but there's still a lot of race left, and there's still going to be one more cycle of pit stops left, and all sorts of things can happen here as we are approaching the halfway point of the race. But there's still plenty of things that can happen here today in this race. Ikia Tajima up to 7th. Got by Damon Kirby. He's working his way through the field. I think he's also on 4 fresh tires. But how about
lap number 30 here. 51 laps to go. Or no, 41 laps to go, I'm sorry. So, a lot of racing, like you said, still to go, but right now, Kaylee Maxwell has absolutely been on fire in this race. It is unbelievable how well she has come alive in this race after that pit stop.
It's incredible. It's very reminiscent of Damon Kirby's drive at Denver, and that was only 2 weeks ago. I'm sure Isaac would be jumping up and down if he's watching this live. He's not, but he would probably be jumping up and down right now. That's another one of his drivers, and they've just been killing it in the Cup Series. Hollenbeck is keeping it within about 4/10. I think if they can get to the pit cycle with the 79 pretty close by, then they could definitely still reclaim that lead away from the 52. But I might expect him to try and undercut the 52 here. Oh, is the caution out?
Caution on Speedway!
Yeah, the caution is out. Oh, Cooper Spur!
Oh!
And Karina Willis-Callaway. It looks like it might just
That
be those
does
two.
not look good.
And Cooper Spur's got the black smoke of death coming out of his car. He's done.
So now, can they make it from here on pit stops?
Ooh, I think they should be able to, but it'll be pretty close. It might be what we see.
We're coming up on.
It might be what we saw
Coming up
last
on
week at
38 laps
Kentucky.
to go.
It might be what we saw at Kentucky, where a few cars ran out of gas at the end of the race, and everyone's going to come in now.
I mean, you kind of have to come in now. If you think you can stretch it, you've got to try to stretch it here, I think.
Lakin Herndon will get the free pass, so that's good news for him, as he was the first car one lap down. We'll see who wins the race off the pit lane. We'll see maybe if somebody tries a different strategy like we saw under the first caution. Let's watch the pit stops. Tires for the 01 car. I would expect everyone to take tires. I think that would be the strategy. But
you have to take 4 here. You just have to. Callaway exiting the pits.
And Tim Berry is going to get the... I think Tim Berry got the lead off the pits. I think he got ahead of Brian. I'm not exactly sure where the timing line is, but it looked like the 11 was first off, so... Looks like he's finally going to get that lap lead bonus. It looks like they're going to score the 01 car in third. And they're going to score Maxwell in second, so... Interesting scenario there, and then once Herndon takes his pit stop, he'll get his lap back. But, oh, never mind.
Oh, no, Brian is back in the lead.
And that's that first pit stall really helping him out there. So,
and you got to think now, this is really going to help George Brown. We saw how strong he was in the first couple laps.
But we have to see, Brian kind of struggled when he was in traffic. So I'm wondering if that car is going to still be strong in the later runs of the race. So we'll see what the L1 can do. Second caution of the race here on lap number 34 right now, just about to cross halfway. We'll show you the replay of what happened, and then we'll get you back to the restart here at Milwaukee. Second caution of the race. This one happened off of turn 2. Tamarin Bellinger gets into Karina Willis-Callaway. And Cooper Spur nowhere to go. Look at the hit on the inside on the driver's side door for Cooper Spur. And that's definitely going to knock the wind out of him. He was able to drive it back, though. Unfortunately, he's driving it back to the garage because there's no way that he's continuing after that hit. Only a couple of cars involved in that one, but pretty severe accident in terms of a hard hit. But it looks like Cooper Spur is going to be the only one that fails to finish because of that. Karina Willis-Callaway's got a lot of damage, so she might not finish either, but she doesn't have the black smoke of death coming out of her car. Welcome back here at Milwaukee. About to take the green on lap number 37. We added an extra caution lap to allow the 39 to get his lap back. We've got 30 cars on the lead lap now. We're going to have a couple lap cars for the leaders to deal with, so we'll see how they get around the 92 and the 1. Cooper Spur is out of the race due to that accident, so we have 3 cars out of the race right now. It's going to be Brian, Tim Berry, Maxwell, Hollenbeck, and Gino rounding out your top 5. Green flag is back in the air, and Brian is on the accelerator, and see you later.
think he realized with all those cars behind him, he needs to go and go now. Oh my!
Goodness. This one car
Tajima!
This one car is not the fastest. He's not like hazardously slow, but it's definitely going to be a bit of an issue for these guys to get by him.
Oh my goodness!
There's not a lot of room to go 3 wide here, and they're going to pass by Lopez on both sides. And Darren Walker is going to get the short end of the stick, as he is the one that is losing the most positions from that. But looks like George Bryan and Tim Berry, as well as Maxwell, got by all the lap cars. But it's Bryan and Berry that got the biggest lead out of it, and Berry is hustling. Look at him roll through the corner. We'll see if he can get by George Bryan here in the 01 car here soon.
This is a very big battle for the points leader, Tim Berry, trying to extend the points lead he has. George Bryan looking to prove that he really belongs in the Invitational series, in the Cup series.
You look at some of these other championship contenders. We have not seen Kevin DuPont all day. Darren Walker just got held up by a bunch of lap traffic. Where is DuPont? There he is, all the way back in 20th. So it's not like a horrible run for him, but he definitely needs to be running better than that if he wants to avoid losing a bunch of points. And the 41 and probably the 85 are pretty slow, so we'll keep an eye on them, and hopefully we'll avoid a Kentucky situation this time. You know I'll be more on it after that happens. So here comes Berry, rolling the outside, getting the run off the corner, but he just isn't quite getting close enough to make a move yet on that 01 car.
How nervous do you think someone like George Bryan would be right now? He is ninth in points. He's not used to being up front in these races, but like with 30 laps to go, holding off the points leader to go possibly the biggest win of your whole life, it's got to make you a little nervous, you know?
Bryan has been in this position before. He did win a race last year at Canadian Tire, but that was mostly off the back of strategy. He did not have to hold off a hungry Tim Berry behind him to get that win. It was mainly his crew chief that won it for him, and he's had some battles for the win, especially at Las Vegas this year against Jack Gino, and he didn't end up winning that, but he definitely gave it his all there. And you definitely know that the pressure's definitely on for George Bryan in the 01 car. If he wins this, he could throw himself into the championship fight, which is unbelievable for such a small team like him. We saw Andrew Kreider go on a similar run last year. Bryan's definitely got to be sweating, especially since that 11's getting bigger in his mirror and onto his quarter panel going through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, I will say, in regards to that car being so underfunded, if sponsors don't look at the runs that George Bryan has had this year and they still don't want to sponsor him, they are insane. They are looking at a front-running driver in this series who deserves to be in a championship caliber seat, in my opinion.
Oh, but look at that. It's not just Berry that caught up to him. The whole pack caught up to him. Maxwell's there, Gino's there, Tajima's there, and Hollenbeck, who I guess lost a bunch of spots on the pit cycle. But he's still up to 6, so he's still in it. Any one of these guys could win it, but Bryan's doing a great job of holding them all off, creating a bit of a gap there in turns 1 and 2. And these guys, they're doing what the drivers at Kentucky weren't doing. And they're staying in a single file line to try and catch up to the leader first before trying to battle each other. Berry, he's really good at rolling the corners. That's something I've noticed from the start of the race, from the drop of the green. This 11 car is very good at rolling through the center of the corners, and he's able to be pretty close to the car in front of him as a result. But he just has not been able to get the best of entrances, and it seems like Bryan's beating him off the exit as well. So if Berry can work on his technique on entrance and exit, he could definitely get by this 01 car. But it's going to take a bit for him to kind of settle into that.
Yeah, you see just Cameron Bellinger gets to the inside of Callaway, and Callaway just gets hooked, and my God, that is a scary hit to Cooper Spur in the 24 car. Hope he's okay. That was a very, very big hit, especially on a wall like that. No real padding on it. Just gotta hope he's okay after that. He is still driving it back, but you never know. Could be a bit of shock in that system of that 24 car, but
we don't like seeing impacts like that after what happened last week to Montana Sherman. So hopefully he's all right. He's at least good enough to drive it back. So that could be a good sign there for Cooper Spur. Okay. Brian with a good roll off the corner there. And Kaylee Maxwell lost a bit of time there. This could put her in the clutches of Jack Gino. And here comes Gino underneath for third in the number 65 car. And Maxwell's going to lose the podium position there, and she might lose fourth as well to the 99 of Tajima. Still a great run from that 52, regardless of if she wins or not. Definitely going to turn some heads in the Cup Series. And there's just so many good amateur drivers that could be going for seats here in the Cup Series. You gotta wonder, there might not even be enough spots for them. And I think these guys are fine in terms of speed, but again, we'll keep an eye on them once the leaders get closer to them, if we need to DQ the 41 or the 85. The 65 seems to be coming on strong late in the going. He looks to the inside of Tim Berry, isn't able to make a move. Here comes the 99 of Tajima, still battling the 52 of Maxwell. Maxwell's holding her own on the outside, but Tajima finally gets that exit that he needs. And it looks like he might be clear of Maxwell. No, Maxwell's still trying to send it around the outside. I just don't know if Maxwell's going to be able to hold it up there much longer, and she's not going to be able to. Tajima is going to move up to fourth, looking for back-to-back wins here, but he's got 3 more cars to pass to do it, and only 21 laps to do so. And it has not been very easy to pass here, especially in the late going. And we'll see if these cars have the ability to pass these drivers late in the run. Gino definitely seems like he has the capability to do it. He's been sending it into the corner all race long, and that's definitely helped him win those battles when it comes down to it. So we'll see if the 65 car can start hauling here towards the end of the race. Here comes Hollenbeck looking for top 5, and he's going to get it over Kaylee Maxwell, and now Maxwell is fighting her teammate, Damon Kirby, her teammate in the Amateur Series. But here in the Cup Series, oh my goodness, Tajima washed up the track, Barry washed up the track. Here comes Gino now for second on the 11 car of Tim Barry. Just about a dead heat.
Unbelievable racing we have had so far here.
Just about a dead heat across the line, and Gino's now into second. Brian has a pretty sizable gap now, but I definitely think that 65 is more than capable of running him down. Oh, Maxwell's gonna go
Maxwell! What in the world is wrong with her?
She has been aggressive here today. Oh, there's still 3 wide going down the front straightaway. Oh, I don't know how this is going to work out into turn 1, especially with the 79 sending it low.
This is not going to work.
Is Maxwell
It might work, but there's no way.
No, the 79 got a really good roll through the corner. Hollenbeck's going to pass them both. But Maxwell's still trying, though. And
here comes Kirby!
Here comes Kirby on the inside. They're teammates in the Amateur Series, but they're rivals in the Cup Series because they're on rival teams. Oh, boy. That's tight off of turn 4. And Kirby is going to get another bumper. He's going to bump around the 79. Oh, the 79's going to turn himself into the wall, and they're all crashing down the back straightaway. Oh, no. Oh, it was going so good for so long, and now we're going to pilot DuPont. Oh, JT Boyd, Andrew Kreider, that's a big crash. Chanot, Scholes, Joe Smith, Adrian Wheeler. It's the big one. Oh, and they're not done. Corbin taps. Oh, and Lopez. They just keep piling in on the back straightaway. It's the big one at Milwaukee.
Oh,
caution is
no.
Out. Oh,
and you've got to think.
Oh, the
George Ryan is livid.
The racing was so good. And then it just boiled over.
What did we just witness? Oh my lord. 3rd caution of the day, and we have 15 laps to go coming up. This should alleviate any possible fuel mileage issues.
They're not pitting, though. Interesting. Oh, Walker was in it as well. All the championship contenders, except for Tim Berry, were involved
Except
in that.
Barry.
Oh, even Billy Smith was in it.
You've got to think now, if George Bryan can hold on to this win,
Oh, boy. And
this could be unbelievable in the point standings.
lots of cars out of the race. And I believe Ashley Blake, Ashley Blake, who I don't remember going a lap down, but I guess she did. I guess she is going to be your free pass here under the caution. But that was chaotic. Well, third caution of the day here at Milwaukee on lap number 56. We're going to have a late race restart here. George Bryan out in front, followed by Gino and Barry. Kirby's in fourth, and a damaged Kobe Hollenbeck is in fifth. We'll get you your replay of what happened, and then we'll get back to the restart here late in the going here at Milwaukee. And here it is, the big one at Milwaukee. I didn't think I'd be saying that. Kobe Hollenbeck just overdrives the corner right into his teammate, Akiya Tajima. Darren Walker gets sideswiped, Kaylee Maxwell gets involved, and it's on from there. Rebecca Raymond does a spin. Rhea Wickham gets involved. I think it'd be easier to say who's not involved, especially after that happens, and then the track kind of gets blocked. There's just a bunch of cars sitting on the track trying to get back going. And there you see the worst of it right there. JB Chanot, back end off the ground. Billy Smith, Vinny Scholes, Adrian Wheeler. Joe Smith gets even more damage. And that's just a lot of cars involved. And right at the end there, Corbin taps with a hit late. And then Jacob Lopez also fires in as well. And that's going to end his day. He was already struggling, and that's just going to do it even more. But I have a feeling he's not going to be the only one out of the race after that. Just look at how many cars have damage after that. Michael Harvin got involved in that as well. I didn't even notice he was in it. So that's a massive accident. DuPont involved as well. Championship contenders involved, non-championship contenders involved, amateur drivers involved. Everybody got involved in that one. And that one happened all the way down the backstretch. It started off the exit of 2 and didn't end until the exit of 3.
Yeah, it's just, like I said earlier, 3 wide is already a tough thing, but when you just floor it like that, like, there's no way you're going to work it out. Even if you're someone on the outside, you're going to hit them. If there's no one on the outside, you're hitting the wall. It's just a very poor situation, and it's just, my God, so much going on. I don't even really know what to say for most of this. This is just unbelievable. So many cars involved. Like, everywhere you look, there's just carnage and destruction. Everywhere you see Jacob Lopez get into the 29, and it's just like, it is unreal. Like, the sheer amount that just happened in an accident. There's probably going to be like 8 or 9 cars out from that, I would think. But I'm not sure. We have a very late race restart coming up, though.
Welcome back here at Milwaukee. 11 laps to go here when we take the green. George Bryan still out in front. 9 cars are out of the race because of that accident. It's Billy Smith, Adrian Wheeler, Corbin Taps, Michael Harvin, Vinny Scholes, Andrew Kreider, Akiya Tajima, JB Chanot, and the 1 car of Jacob Lopez all out of the race due to that crash. Pace car's going to pull off. We've got 3 lap cars on the inside that could interfere with this battle here. It's a late race restart here at Milwaukee. We're back green. And Bryan, once again, with a great jump on the restart, he's going to get ahead of all the lap traffic.
If Kate Summers gets ahead of Gino, which she does, that is really going to help the 0-1 of George Bryan. That is a huge help for Bryan ending up winning this race.
But Gino's trying to roll the outside lane. If he can get a launch off the exit of the corner, he can get by the 92, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. Looks like we're going to have a showdown here at the end of this race. And we got 10 laps to decide.
10 to go.
Barry trying to get around the lap traffic. Here comes Damon Kirby in the top 5 once again. Luana Connie's in the top 5, and Hollenbeck is severely off the pace, as we kind of expected. How is JT Boyd still run? How are some of these cars still going? Joe Smith has no front end. JT Boyd's damaged on both ends. Lakin Herndon's got a big gash in the side. McCarron's been running for almost the whole race without a front end at all. Some of these cars are ready for the dumpster, but they're still going. So, you know what? With so many cars out of the race, it's definitely worth it to stay on the racetrack. And with so little time left,
Everything,
it's unlikely they're going to get DQ'd.
everything but the engine is destroyed in half of these cars left in the race. Up front is still George Bryan leading the way. Jack Gino trying to close in, trying to spoil the party for George Bryan. Tim Berry in third, trying to hunt them down, trying to extend the points lead. He's pretty much guaranteed to extend at this rate.
And it's just like Las Vegas. It's the same two drivers that were battling it out at the end of that race, except the roles were reversed, and it was Bryan trying to chase down Gino. Now Gino's the one trying to chase down Bryan. I don't know about you, but it looks like that lead is extending on the 01 car. He's running away from Jack Gino.
7 laps to go this time by, and I've got to say, everyone, I think, in the garage here is holding their breath for George Bryan. Like, this would be such a popular win if one of the smallest teams in LSCI manages to pull out a win here today.
And it's not like he just, pulled it out of nowhere. He's been up front. He started on pole. He's probably led the most laps. He's been one of the fastest cars all day. He has just been... Oh, another caution! DuPont again!
What?
Kate Summers is destroyed! And more damage on the 8 car
no.
as well. Oh, Maxwell.
Oh,
and that's probably going to be day done for one of the most impressive drivers in the race, Kaylee Maxwell. Oh, Dearman is also destroyed. So we had a few cars involved in that. And the 4th caution of the race. Oh, boy.
I think George Bryan is punching the air right now. He is infuriated.
We're going to have another restart.
6 laps to go. It's probably going to be about 3 or 2 to go.
There's no free pass under this caution either. The only car lap down was DuPont. He was in the crash, so... No waving around, no extra caution laps or anything. We're going to have a very late shootout here. And yeah, the 92
tire was listed as a failure on the 92. Did she have a tire failure, and that's what would cause the caution?
No. She didn't have a tire failure to cause the accident. And Dearman's out too. And last week we had, I think, 22 cars finish the race, and that was the least that we had all season. And gonna have even less than that today. I mean, I know, Darian, I know you said you were expecting cautions. I don't think you were expecting this many cautions and this many pileups either. DuPont's even out of the race.
Like I said, I was fully expecting like 1 or 2 lazy spins, maybe like a bit of 3-wide gone wrong, but we've been proven so wrong so many times with this race. The only thing I've been remotely right on was saying George Bryan could win this race, and even then, I still might be wrong on that.
We'll have a late race shootout here at Milwaukee. We're going to get you your replay of what happened to bring out the 4th caution of the race, and then we'll get you with what will inevitably be the final restart of the race. Will George Bryan hold on? Will Jack Gino be able to make a move, or will someone else steal the win from behind? We'll see here at Milwaukee. Things have been getting crazier today, and they're only going to get crazier here at the end of the race. 3 wide off of turn 2 causes another crash here at Milwaukee. Shauna Everett just accelerates off the corner too much and squeezes Luana Connie and Darren Walker into the wall. And Zach Dearman gets into it by colliding with the 8 car, and then a big impact there for Kate Summers as she runs into Shauna Everett. Kevin DuPont gets in it as well. And then that also finishes off Kaylee Maxwell. And then we have a couple other cars getting into the wall there. Real shame. A lot of fast cars involved in that, especially the 52 of Maxwell, as well as the 8 of Walker. And we also had some cars that were already involved in accidents, just kind of, getting finished off in this one. Luana Connie was also running pretty good before that happened, so it's just a shame. More wrecked race cars. It's been a bit since we've had an LSCI race with this many wrecked race cars, so that's a bit unfortunate, but at the very least, the racing up front has definitely not had a lack of entertainment, and we are going to have an exciting 2-lap sprint to the end here at Milwaukee.
For what feels like, I think, the 2nd time today, I believe it is, another accident off of turn 2. You can just see the 57, the 8, the 25, the 92 big hit, 18 big hit, 77 gets damaged. You count it, you say it, you name it. whoever you pick, someone has been involved in an accident today for the most part. Remember what I said at the end of the first caution period? I've been proven wrong again. I was hoping that this wouldn't continue, and it has continued. We're going to have, I believe, less than 20 cars left in the race at this point, and we still have a two-lap shootout to end this, folks. This is going to be unbelievable to end it off here at Milwaukee.
Welcome back here at Milwaukee. We are about to have a two-lap shootout to decide this one. George Bryan is the leader. Jack Gino in second, Tim Berry, Rebecca Raymond, and Tyler Landry round out the top 5. There's all sorts of other crazy drivers in the top 10 right now. Like just look at this car. But we're going to have 2 laps to figure out this winner. This is the latest restart we've had all season. Pace car is going to peel off. And we are going to be green for the final time here at Milwaukee.
Oh no!
Good restart by Gino. Will he be able to make a move into 1?
Here comes Barry! Look at
He wasn't able to. Bryan did not get as good of a restart as he has been, but he got a good launch off of turn 2. We'll see if Gino's going to have anything for Bryan here in the closing stages of the race.
Coming to the white flag this time. Here comes Gino looking inside, trying to get the nose in. This could be unbelievable. Get your popcorn ready, folks. We're coming to the white flag at Milwaukee.
1 lap to go. Will Gino be able to fire it into 1? Good entry by Bryan. Will Gino be able to get a good exit, though? He's been kind of struggling. He's sliding up the track, and I think that's what Bryan's going to need here through 3 and 4. Gino's going to really have to send it if he wants a shot. Barry's going to send it for 3rd, but he's not close enough. Gino's going to get to the back bumper of the L1. Is he going to have the roll off the exit? It doesn't look like he will. George Bryan's going to hold him off, and he's going to win it here at Milwaukee in a thrilling finish with Jack Gino.
Oh my goodness gracious. Absolutely unbelievable. What a race, what a finish all the way around.
George Bryan with, I wouldn't even call it an upset win. He's been so good this year. He battled Gino for a win earlier in the season, and now he gets his redemption for Las Vegas. How about that? That is an incredible win for the 01 car. And he absolutely had to earn that. Gino was right on his rear bumper. And Gino just could not get the nose under him. Bryan was just so good at defensive driving. He was just able to hold him off. How about that? George Bryan gets the win here at Milwaukee by less than a 1/10 of a second over Jack Gino. Tim Berry finishes 3rd. Rebecca Raymond 4th. Ashley Blake gets a top 5. That's her first one of the season. Damon Kirby finishes in the top 10 again. Tamron Bellinger gets a top 10. JT Voigt and Joe Smith both had completely junked race cars, and they both got top 10s, 8th and 10th respectively. What a wild race we had, and Darian, can you even begin to describe how this race was?
This was completely against my expectations of this race. Like, I was fully expecting this to be, we would see 1 or 2 cautions due to like a 1 or 2 car accident. I never in a million years would have predicted that we got something like this. 19 cars finishing race. That's almost half the field that drops out. And we end up with an amazing finish, an amazing race. So many drivers coming going. Kaylee Maxwell, unbelievable drive. She may not have got a good finish, but my God, did she deserve to be up there with all the very best of the LSCI. George Bryan, first win of the year, second of his career, I believe, in an unsponsored ride. I can't even describe the feeling that the 01 team is feeling right now, but just unbelievable all the way around.
Absolutely, and if a new sponsor doesn't sign on to that 01 car after that, then I don't know. He's got to get one now, because he's been outperforming that equipment all year, and he's thrown himself into the championship fight. So many of the high up cars and points once again crashed out, although half the field basically crashed out of this race. And I think the most incredible part is that this race didn't even have that many lead changes, but it was still thrilling to watch from start to finish. Just all the battles inside the top 5. Maybe not necessarily for the lead until the end of the race, but just 2nd through 5th, it was just a madhouse. It was incredible to watch. and that's the magic of this racetrack. It's shockingly good. And next week we're going to be headed to Most Sport, which was actually the track that Brian got his first career win at. Darian, do you think he could go back to back? And Most Sport's another crazy racetrack. So, are we expecting some more shenanigans next week at that racetrack?
Most Sport is absolutely insane in all the best ways. One of the better road courses in the series, I believe, and just I can't even put into words like how next week can go. I'm still so caught up on this race that I can't think of anything to say.
That's completely fair. But yeah, that's gonna do it here from Milwaukee. A solid race a solid race throughout the entire thing. There was always some sort of action going on, and unfortunately, I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing for this race because there were four cautions, but it's gonna be worth it. This was a fantastic race here at Milwaukee. Thank you, Darian, for joining me in the booth. I'm sure you were ecstatic to call a race like this, and we're gonna be going to we're gonna be going across the border for the only time this season at the Most Sport, or at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, also known as Most Sport, as I've been referring it to. I'm a bit scatterbrained myself too. I kind of have been the whole race, to be completely transparent. My commentary's not been up to snuff today, but that's totally fine. This race will make up for it. And again, thank you for Darian. Thank you to Darian for calling this race with me. And on behalf of him and myself, this is Brendan Wilmington from the Left Turn Network, signing out.